Quarterfinals day, the Apia Sydney International, and energised crowds were poised for the unveiling of the 2016 semi-finalists. Down to the last 8, and with only 3 seeds remaining in the tournament, unexpected contenders were to flourish, with those 2 seeds went head-to-head. With 470 points up for grabs, and some imposing figures out of contention, it was clear some players were eager to capitalise over their unfortunate higher-ranked rivals. The first semi-finalist of the day was at the detriment of a seed, as top seed Simona Halep took on 5th seed Pavlyuchenkova. And it was a rerun of last year's Dubai final. Their prior encounter to that was in Indian Wells, 2 tournaments that Halep both went on to win. And it was clear to see the 24-year-old was keen to relive last year's fortune. Adding to that, the luck wasn't in Pliškova's favour as she went to break down. With a delicate touch, the Romanian subtly put all 6'1" of her opponent on the wrong footing.
Smart plays, good deep return. She knew that she had Pliškova on the back foot behind the baseline.
But an array of unforced errors from Halep saw last year's finalist back in the running as she bridged the gap to 5-3. But Halep was to deny her levelling, a deathly spin serve securing the first 6-4. The second saw glimpses of Pliškova's powerful game, but that was no match for the athleticism and shot precision from the world number 2.
Oh, what a point. Best rally of the match so far.
An angle return hammered down the line from the enraged 23-year-old as she went on for the break. But it was a short-lived tie as Halep broke to serve for the set.
Sails past the racket of the Czech player.
A long forehand saw last year's finalist out of contention as the top seed secured her first semi-final in Sydney.
I was not very positive today during the match, and I think that was more difficult for me to handle the match, but in the end was good, and I'm really happy that I could beat her. She is a good player.
Meanwhile, over on the grandstand court, Svetlana, Kuznetsova and Sara Errani were made to work for their places in the quarterfinals. The Italian comeback queen made a gallant effort yesterday after redeeming herself from 5-1 down in the second against Helena Jankovic. But today, Kuznetsova was to steal that crown. With 2 set points up her sleeve at 5-1, Errani looked to be running away with the opener. But Kuznetsova, a 2009 finalist, was to begin her comeback at the last opportune moment. The Russian capitalised on momentum to force a tiebreak, and as Errani's frustrations unravelled, so too did her chances of the first set. Kuznetsova taking it 7-1 in the tiebreak. Now firmly on the road to recovery, the second set proved a near formality for the world number 25. Errani's mental torment in dire straits as her opponent's confidence thrived. A run of 6 consecutive games saw Kuznetsova clinch her first semi-final berth at the tournament in 7 years. As the night session drew in, it brought with it 2 quarter-finalists yet to meet each other on court. Ekaterina Makarova hasn't had a fulfilled competitive start to the season. She was scheduled to play Maria Sharapova in Brisbane before the world number 3 withdrew, and here in Sydney faced another lucky loser in the first round, followed by Kerber's withdrawal. And it was clear the lack of match play had taken effect on her game. Last year's 2 titles became ever more apparent as the Swiss youngster wrapped up the first set in a mere 25 minutes.
Nothing you can do about that. A little apology from Bencic because the lucky net ball goes her way.
But the Russian began to find the gaps for an opening in the second. Keeping her opponent deep behind the baseline, a second set execution was to follow. And the Russian did just that. A loose forehand from Bencic levelled it 1 apiece. A suspect line call on Bencic's side left her denied a shot at the break.
Well, correction from the chair. Belinda Bencic, absolutely furious. It's called good by Judy Kientley.
But the enraged teenager was to use that to her advantage as she found the opening for a break. The strongly contested third set tapered off, and with it brought Belinda Bencic through to the 2016 semi-finals.
I just tried to step even up in the third set, and I think we were very close, so it was a tough battle, but I'm happy I stayed mentally strong in the end.
The remaining match-up on the Ken Rosewell Arena saw home favourite Samantha Stosur take on qualifier Monica Puig. The match-up was Puig's 9th WTA quarter-final, and some imposing ground strokes showed strong contention for it to be a successful one. The Aussie Golden Girl did have to work for it though, scrambling back for the break. But 3-set points were snatched up by Puig as she grabbed the first 6-4. Clearly fired up in the second, the collection of winners from Puig left the home crowd in dismay. Stosur putting on a valiant effort, but it was not enough for the opponent 9 years her younger. An emotional win for Puig as she denied the home favourite progression to the semi-finals. 6-4, 6-4 the final score. So as the evening rolled in, all semi-finalists were accounted for. Thursday's action would see top seed Simona Halep taking on Svetlana Kuznetsova for the first time in 2 years, whilst it's a battle of the youngsters as teenager Belinda Bencic takes on qualifier Monica Puig as the 2016 Sydney International gets down to the final 4.